Well, hey everybody, I'm John Ritlin. This is my review of WWE Survivor Series 2019, aka the night that Chicago would not shut the fuck up about CM Punk. I know that he's on WWE backstage. I know this is his hometown, but for fuck's sake, guys, sometimes the chants just were unnecessary. And there were some other chants in the main event that I will get to, and in my personal opinion, were pretty much a slap in the face to the women. But that being said, let me address quickly the Mauro Ranallo Corey Graves situation. Apparently, Mauro did actually deactivate his Twitter account. Corey Graves tweeted some stuff about Mauro without actually directly tweeting to Mauro. Now, well, Corey never personally attacked him. He was, subtweeting him, and then a bunch of Corey's followers decided to attack Mauro, and that led to Mauro deactivating. Now, whether this is Corey's fault or not, this isn't the first time that Corey has done that because he's had thin skin over how somebody has said something bad about him, or the fact that his commentary is going to be nowhere near as good as anything that is currently happening. I'm sorry, Corey Graves at his best is a Bobby Heenan wannabe, a CM Punk tribute act. That's basically what he is. But let's say that Mauro Ranallo deactivating his Twitter seemingly had nothing to do with Corey Graves, with Corey Graves or any of his fans attacking him. Let's just say that's the case. It's entirely possible. Not likely, but it's entirely possible. Corey Graves is still a two-faced, moronic dumb fuck. And here's why he is. He has said stuff in the past about poor people, how he, of like, oh, people being poor and this kind of stuff and looking down on them. Okay, if it hadn't been for WWE taking his little head-wrung ass and making him a commentator, he would have been poor. His wife that he left for some woman named Carmella, a woman that he works with, he would have been unable to get any kind of goddamn job. You know why? Because WWE took pity on him because he could no longer wrestle because he kept getting his head knocked around a whole bunch. Now, he's a good commentator at times, but he is essentially JBL 2.0. He is the worst parts of Jesse Ventura in WCW, and Corey Graves is essentially ridiculous on commentary. He's ridiculous. Lawler's ridiculous on commentary. Don't worry, I'm going to get to Lawler here in a little bit in this review. But the whole thing of Corey, if you guys are a fan of Corey Graves' commentary, fine. I really don't care because you guys are entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine. Corey Graves is a piece of shit. He just fucking is. And he's lucky that this company gave him a chance because no other fucking company would have given him a chance. You know why? Because, okay, he has a way with words sometimes. Now he has just evolved into being a complete jackass and overtaking the commentary anytime he's on there. Now, sure, Mauro Ranallo does get over-energetic and sometimes does talk over his colleagues. He doesn't mean to, but he's so fired up about wrestling. Is he everybody's cup of tea? No. Do I understand why some people maybe are critical of Mauro, thinking he's too energetic or whatever? Yes. But Corey is basically doing the same thing, reportedly, that JBL did a few years ago. And if you remember that, you know what I'm fucking talking about. Look, this whole situation with Corey is goddamn ridiculous. It is, regardless if his attacks or his tweets had anything to do with Mauro taking the sabbatical, not being on the show tonight, Corey Graves is still a piece of shit. And I'm going to stick with that. And I don't really fucking care if anybody has a problem with that because it's my opinion. Now, let's get on with the show. And this is going to take quite a bit, so this is probably going to be a pretty long review, as you could tell just by that little rant right there. We have JBL, Sam, Coach, Charlie, Booker, and Otunga, and then some rotating guests. Shawn Michaels announces on the kickoff panel, Team NXT. Tommaso Ciampa, Matt Riddle, Walter, Keith Lee, and Damian Priest. Okay, bit weird, but that's all right. That's a good mix. We get an interview with Bayley. What about me? What about Bayley? It's basically she was being less mopey here. She did cut off Booker when he said the Bayley Bears and not the Bayley Buddies, because Booker, I don't think, watches the actual product, or if he does, I'm beginning to think he's in some kind of drunken haze because they were never called the Bayley Bears. Now, maybe WWE sold bears that had Bayley's gear on them. I don't fucking know. They sell a lot of bullshit, but yeah, Booker might want to pay more attention to the product. I mean, seriously. But anyway, what the fuck? We get Graves, Vic, and Nigel on commentary. Nigel had to carry Graves. He had to basically stop Graves from being a complete jackass, which is a challenge of itself. And then he also had to stop Lawler from being, the same jackass that he was in the 90s, which was fine in the 90s, but this is 2019. And now I'm going to address something really, really quickly before I get into the rest of this. I was critical of stuff that Cornette said on NWA Power Episode 7, And while I am a fan of his, I admit that a lot of his commentary is old school and maybe doesn't translate well to a product, even a product that is trying to be a throwback. Well, if I'm going to be critical of that, I got to be critical of Lawler. And Lawler is just atrocious. Lawler's goddamn atrocious. I'm going to get to this a little bit goddamn later. So we get a cross-brand over-the-top rope battle royal that was literally just thrown together. And I'm going to name the teams and I'm going to tell you who won because I didn't give a shit about this match. Nobody gave a shit about this match. It was on the pre-show. It was literally announced the day of, I think, maybe the day before. I'm not entirely sure. I was busy at work today, but representing Raw, Gallows and Anderson. Representing NXT, Breezango. Representing SmackDown, The Revival. Representing SmackDown, which I forgot, I thought they were representing Raw. Team Do a Good Lucha Thing, aka Lucha House Party. Heavy Machinery representing SmackDown. Imperium of Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner representing NXT, NXT UK, but I guess they're part of the NXT brand. Street Profits representing Raw. Rude and Ziggler representing SmackDown. Hawkins and Rye representing Raw. Forgotten Sons representing NXT. Ziggler and Rude eliminated Street Profits to win this match. I don't know why. I don't know why you couldn't have just given this one victory to Raw. I mean, I guess it's sort of factored in at the end, but it's just, they could have gone other ways with, I don't know. It's just Rude and Ziggler of all teams, a makeshift team that were, tag team champions for 28 days, and they're going to suddenly eliminate Street Profits that are pretty over. The crowd wasn't very happy about this, and the crowd was pretty alive for a lot of this pay-per-view. But anyway, it was what it was. SmackDown's up 1-0-0. I guess this year they're counting the pre-show, even though last year they didn't because they wanted Raw to be dominant. Fucking hell, they don't know what they're doing anymore. And then we get Aiden, Byron, and Vic for a three-way Cruiserweight Championship match. NXT Cruiserweight Championship match. Kalisto, Akira Tozawa, and Lio Rush, the champion. There's a lot of flippy shit. There was some good stuff, and don't get me wrong, Leo's good in the ring. I just don't give a shit when he's on camera because, cool, he's good in the ring. I don't like the guy. I just don't. I don't find him interesting. Sorry, I don't. Some people do. That's fine. Same with Kalisto. Tozawa's the one I'm most invested in here, and even he doesn't look like he really cares anymore, even though he still gives a solid effort. And Lio wins. Lio wins in a cool sequence where it looked like Kalisto was going to win after hitting Salida del Sol, but then he got hit with Frog Splash and Lio won. And we get Zayn running down the kickoff panel, running down Booker in particular, and hyping up Nakamura a lot. Nakamura's going to get the victory. Nakamura's going to get the victory. And then we find out what happens later. And then we get Kayla interviewing New Day. Well, 2/3 of the New Day, because Xavier unfortunately is injured and will likely be injured till at least May of next year, or if not later. It's very unfortunate, and hopefully he does recover. We get the New Day versus Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly versus the Viking Raiders. It's a brand supremacy three-way. The brand supremacy continues. The white bread brand supremacy continues. Wonder Bread, by the way, is the best white bread in my personal opinion. That's about the interest level that I had in this match. The match was good. The match actually was good. It had some good tag team work, some good double teaming, some good near falls. Fish ends up getting pinned. I know that the Undisputed Era lost the War Games match and that they were beat to shit, and I understand that, but why couldn't you have just had Big E take the fall? Really, a Big E, or, I mean, maybe not Kofi, but just, this is why they probably should have just had the Revival as champions going into this. I mean, I get why they had New Day there, but you could have just had the Revival in there because the Revival would have taken the pin. For the Revival are always taking pins. But I don't know. I mean, I get it. I mean, the Undisputed Era ended up pulling out 2 victories later. Spoiler alert, but if you watch the show, you just want to know what I think about it. It was fine. It was fine. It's now 1-1-1 if you care about brand supremacy. I sure as fuck don't, even though there were some good moments later. We had a cool video package opening up the show, and I got a lot of pages of notes here. I got like 2 full pages of notes. We start off with the women. Excuse me. The team, it's the women's elimination match. It's Team Raw. Charlotte, Natalya, Asuka, Kairi, and Sarah Logan versus Team SmackDown. Sasha, Carmella, Dana Brooke, Nikki Cross, and Lacey Evans versus Team NXT, which is Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai. I don't know why I combined them there. Probably because, I was thinking of AEW's women's division and how it's not booked all that well. But anyway, Rhea, Io Shirai, Candice LeRae, almost said Michelle, Toni Storm, and Bianca Belair. I wanted to like this match more than I did. Now, I liked this more than the men's match, even though the men's match did have its moments. There were some nice moments in this. There were some nice moments. And I will highlight a few of those. Tony, Sarah, and Lacey started. This would be a nice 3-way that I would like to see. No, not like that. I run a clean show. But it was nice to see Toni Storm back in the ring. It was really good. Tony got to shine for a little bit. Then she got eliminated later, but I'll get into that. Dana, what was Dana doing? Her best, but also she was actually doing pretty well. She has been training really hard and has gotten better in the ring. And then this weird spot happens where the cameras didn't pick it up, and Io and Candice are injured and they're being taken to the back. So suddenly Team NXT is down 2 members. So it's now 5-5-3. Holy crap, we are in a whole lot of trouble here, Rhea is thinking. Then Bianca eliminates Nikki Cross. Okay, cool. And then she eliminates Sarah afterwards. Holy crap, sweet. Bianca is rolling here. And Carmella is just not good in the ring. She is objectively terrible in the ring and had one of the worst women's title reigns this side of Sable, in my personal opinion. I mean, whether she is a good person or a bad person is irrelevant. This is about the wrestling character. I'm not even going to refer to, her piece of shit boyfriend, Corey Graves, even though I just did. Because homewrecker or not, what the situation is, they're dating. So I don't know who wrecked who. And I don't know who caused what. But the bottom line is, Carmella in the ring is pretty goddamn shit. And Charlotte ends up eliminating Carmella, thank fucking God. We get Sasha eliminating Kairi Sane. That was kind of bullshit. Nothing against Sasha, but it was kind of bullshit where it's like, oh boy, okay, that's how they're going to treat Kairi Sane. A lot of these eliminations came fast and furious. This show did end early. I thought it was supposed to go till 8 o'clock, but nope, it ended just before 7:30. Which was fine. That's what they did with War Games. They ended that a little early, which was fine. Ending these shows like this and having some of the matches go long is okay if you get to the end. So, Asuka eliminates Dana. Okay, sweet, cool. Dana got her chance to shine. Asuka got a chance to do that. And then Charlotte is shoving around Asuka because she's just like, you know what, I'm done with this. I buried you twice, once at Mania 34 and then once just before Mania 35. So fuck it, I don't care. And then, oh wait, this is evil Asuka. She has the green mist. She sprays Charlotte in the face. Enough of that. I'm not going to get into more jokes there. What her and Andrade do in their spare time is their own business. And holy crap, a woman's right, pin Charlotte. Cool, Charlotte's gone. Yay. And then we get Asuka leaving. Asuka just says, fuck it, I'm done. Unless Asuka got pinned somehow, I don't remember. I think Asuka just left. Asuka's like, I don't care about this. Because this whole brand supremacy thing, by the way, is fucking bullshit. A lot of these women were on different brands just even a bit ago. A lot of these talents, these male talents, were on different brands just before the draft, and we're suddenly supposed to believe that they care that much about brand supremacy. I'm sorry, I just don't care. It's cool to get some interaction with some of these wrestlers to where maybe you can see some of this stuff happen in the Royal Rumble, which is another time where Raw, SmackDown, and NXT go head-to-head, but I digress. Natty eliminates Lacey with the dreaded roll-up. A lot of dreaded roll-ups tonight. And then Sasha eliminates... Well, actually, we had Sasha with... we had Tony get a sharpshooter. Tony get caught in the sharpshooter, that is, from Natty, and then Sasha got the bank statement on. Tony could not find out. Why Rhea didn't get in there and break that up, I don't know. But Tony ends up tapping out. Okay, whatever. Tony got a chance to shine in the beginning. I wish it would have featured her a little more, but okay. I don't know why they brought her back just for that, but if they're bringing her to NXT, she gets more of a chance to be featured. Great. I like Toni Storm, as you can tell. And Sasha eliminates Natty. Okay, it's down to Rhea and Sasha. You get dueling chants. You get some nice work here. You get a bank statement. And then suddenly Io and Candice, miraculously healed, come down and help Rhea get... pull Rhea out of the ring. And then, even though they weren't technically eliminated, they weren't announced as being eliminated unless I just didn't hear the announcer say that. And, the ring announcer, that is. Io hits a drop kick to Sasha, off the ropes behind the referee's back. And then Rhea hits the Riptide 1, 2, 3. And Candice interferes also, but they're making it seem like Rhea cheated, except she didn't because Io and Candice were never eliminated. Unless I just totally missed something, they were never eliminated. So it ain't cheating. And if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. R.I.P. Eddie Guerrero. About 14 years ago. Fucking hell. I miss Eddie to this day. But anyway, 2-1-1 advantage to NXT. Good. They had some good moments in this. It was a bit sloppy at times, and that's not the fault of the women. It's the fault of whoever booked this. But all the women worked hard. All the women, and Carmella did what she did, her best, and then got the fuck out of there because she doesn't belong in a goddamn wrestling ring. she should take a lesson from Lana and just be a valet and not be in a fucking wrestling ring. But I digress. Rollins is questioning Owens about loyalty. But we all know that Corey Graves knows all about loyalty and understands loyalty and everything and doesn't, knock CM Punk and everything and is loyal to his wife. Oh, he's not. He's not. He can babyface it all he wants. I'm not saying that women are perfect in marriage, but it's kind of funny that a woman that stood by Corey Graves through thick and thin when he had his head injury and he wasn't sure about his future, stood by him. They have a couple kids. One kid, I believe, that has some kind of disability. I mean, something, or has like some kind of health issue. And Corey's just going to leave that because, I got better and I'm banging a coworker that I think is hotter and everything, and I'll just do that. Yeah, it's a real piece of shit thing to do. But Corey is a piece of shit. This is kind of the Corey is a piece of shit review, if you can't tell. So, anyway, Rollins questioning Owens' loyalty, and Owens says, hey, what about your loyalty, Rollins? You really want to talk about that? Anyway, we get Strong, Nakamura, and Styles. It was good. It was good. It was a really good match. What do you want me to say? This was a really, really good match. It was a very New Japan Ring of Honor style, match. Put in a WWE setting, obviously. They weren't allowed to go out there for 60 goddamn minutes, which is probably good. Nakamura actually looked more motivated in this one, which is nice to see. It was good. I enjoyed this match. There was a nice series of counters. There was a double wide comment of, about the double wide trailer thing that Lawler said about Roderick Strong and Nigel cut him down. And then he got that in at the end. Nigel would have been well within his rights to slap Lawler right in the goddamn face, because Jerry Lawler, the damn pedo that he is, alleged pedo, even though it's pretty obvious that he is, Lawler's a goddamn piece of shit, and has always been a piece of shit, and was only a draw in Memphis because there were a bunch of people that apparently thought that he was a really good athlete when his best angle, his most famous nationwide angle in Memphis, even though he has some good matches with Terry Funk, Nick Bockwinkel, and a whole bunch of others, his most famous angle was against an actor that was more over than he would ever be. And yeah, I'm not a big fan of Jerry Lawler, can you tell? If you are, that's fine. Cool. You guys can be a fan of Jerry Lawler. But Jerry Lawler has no business being on commentary in 2019. His stuff is more, I'll just say it, reiterate an earlier point. I said Cornette's stuff was dated. Lawler's commentary is more dated than Cornette. And that's saying something. I'm a fan of Cornette. I'm no fan of Lawler, though. But there was a GTS-esque spot, and there were CM Punk chants. Okay, whatever. And then, lots of near falls. Styles nearly beats Nakamura, but nope, Strong gets the pin and pins Shinsuke. Shocking. Nakamura took the pin, but I expected it. It was what it was, and Strong got the victory. Undisputed Era. 1-1 in matches. That's good. And Miz trying to help motivate Daniel Bryan, and Bryan just cuts him off and everything. Says, I don't need you, and this kind of stuff. And then the line of the goddamn night. Michael Cole saying that Mauro Ranallo was so impassioned and so everything during NXT War Games that he blew his voice out. That's some fresh bullshit. Now, if he truly needs some rest, if he does suffer from bipolar disorder, if he had an episode afterwards, for whatever reason, that had nothing to do with Twitter, and he just had a meltdown. If you've seen Bipolar Rock and Rolla, then you would know that he has a lot of issues. If that is the case, and he just needs some time away, okay. Apparently, he's going to be back on NXT on USA. I hope. I want him to be in the best mental state possible. Any of these wrestlers, at least any of the wrestlers I really like, I want them to be in the best mental state possible. When it comes to Corey Graves, piece of shit that he is, I think he could go through some sensitivity training. Not that he's a sensitive guy at all, but it wouldn't hurt. Anyway, get well soon, Morrow. If he doesn't go back to NXT for a bit, I just hope he's okay. I just really hope he's okay. Bipolar disorder, any mental health issues like that are no goddamn joke. So, anyway. They cut off the Adam Cole baby chant thing, that they do, to show recaps of War Games, when they could have just shown that in the beginning of Adam Cole's entrance, or you could have just shown it before Adam Cole's entrance. But we get Pete Dunne versus Adam Cole, baby, for the NXT Championship. Good, very good match. You had arm and elbow focus by Dunne, working on the wrist of Adam Cole. And then you had Adam working on the knee. And that was some good stuff. I really enjoyed that. And then forgive me for looking at my nose because I'm trying to remember this stuff. Oh boy. Adam Cole, of course, getting his hand injured, and of course, he's luckily ambidextrous, so Britt is very happy with that. I'm sorry, I had to say that line. I'm very happy for them. And by the way, to the people that are saying that Britt Baker was shown on, WWE, NXT TV, is more exposure, or, she showed more charisma than she's shown on AEW TV. A bit harsh. I'm not Britt Baker's biggest fan, but good lord, they are two separate companies, and they are two people that are together. She is allowed to be there. Maybe without everybody, maybe without the fans taking shots. I mean, maybe you have to take shots to say something that's stupid. I don't fucking know. Alcoholism, isn't it fun? No, it's not. Seek help. Anyway, we get a super kick out of it. We get a bitter end. We get a last shot that ends with 2. We get a super kick out of the flip where, kind of like what Ricochet did, and Adam Cole kicked him for 2. Panama Sunrise on the apron, of course, the hardest part of the ring. Counter after counter, a counter into the Panama Sunrise, and then the last shot, 1, 2, 3, Adam Cole retains. Good match. I enjoyed this match. I thought this match was very, very well done. Pardon the pun. Actually, that wasn't intentional, but I thought that Pete and Adam did a very, very good job here. Pete and Adam almost sounds like a weird version of like Bible fanfic. Moving on. Graves and Cole on commentary for The Fiend versus Daniel Bryan. Look, one, the red light has to fucking go. By the way, it's for the Universal title. They have to get rid of the red light. It didn't work for Kane in 97, early 98. It didn't work for Kane. It doesn't work here. It's just dumb. And yeah, Discount Evanescence singing The Fiend to the ring. I don't remember what the name of the band is. They're a good band. I'm just saying, they remind me of Evanescence. That's just maybe a bit of a harder Evanescence. Really wish I could see them in concert, that is. But anyway, yeah, the red light shit, hate it. The crowd was into it, at least. They were into this stuff with Bray a little more. The light still sucks. There were some good moments. Bryan kept trying to keep the Fiend down. He couldn't. Fiend would just pop up. He would get the occasional near fall, but wouldn't be able to keep him down. He would just keep popping up. It wasn't like he was hitting right knee after right knee. He was like hitting a few drop kicks like off the top, and just Fiend was like getting back up, kind of. You ever play Suikoden 5? It reminded me of, like, trying to take down that bodyguard, and that bodyguard guy would just, like, keep getting back up. But anyway, running knee for 2, and then soon after, Mandible Claw gets Daniel Bryan down. 1, 2, 3, Fiend retains. This was the better of the 2 title matches that they had, because, oh, sweet Jesus, that other one. A Rey promo. He says, you're going to see the old Rey Mysterio. No, Rey, you're just the old Rey Mysterio. You're just old Rey Mysterio at this point. Ray's still in quality shape, don't get me wrong, but it just, come on. No one believes it. So, we get the men's Royal Rumble, men's Survivor Series match. That'd be interesting if they threw out a Royal Rumble there for no reason. Men's Survivor Series elimination match. Seth Rollins, Ricochet, Orton, Owens, and Drew for Team Raw. Team SmackDown was Reigns, Ali, Gable, Braun, and Corbin. And Team NXT, was Ciampa, Lee, Riddle, Priest, and Walter. The NXT UK champion. Tremendous. We get boos for Rollins, a lot of boos for Rollins. We get Walter, would gain a lot of chance. So a great moment for Walter. And we had Walter, Braun, and Drew having, a few moments, some decent chops and stuff like that. Did Walter have to go to dinner or something? Did he have an early flight home? Because he got eliminated by Drew with a Claymore kick like within a couple minutes. That was some fresh bullshit. And nothing is Drew. I love Drew. I love the fact that Drew's getting featured, but it's just, really? You couldn't have Walter eliminate one guy? Your NXT UK Women's Champion. Oh, this is the thing. Oh, you don't want to come over here in the States, pal? Well, I'm going to bring you here and I'm going to job you out. Vince, presumably. Terrible Vince impression. That's where the match kind of ground to a halt. The women's match was better. There were some good moments in this match. Do not misunderstand me. And now that I thought about it, I was critical of the finish, on Twitter. Thinking about it, I do actually appreciate it. Maybe don't love it, but I do appreciate it. It was bullshit that Walter got eliminated so early. Priest got in, and we have Gable, Ricochet. We then have Gable and Riddle. I'm calling him Gable because that's what he is. He's not that other fucking stupid name. Whoever came up with that, Vince, deserves to be slapped repeatedly. Not until it knocks some sense into him, because let's be honest, Vince lost his sense right after WCW went under. But Riddle gets in. We have some good stuff. We get Owens eliminating Gable. Okay, cool. All right, cool. We get some stuff like that. Ciampa eliminating Owens after Owens had some shenanigans, and some exchanges going on with Baron Corbin, because Corbin must ruin everything. Look, I know that there are some people who like Baron Corbin on here. You can think he's an effective heel. Fine. Corbin just has massive go-away heat with me. Whether he actually is capable or decent in the ring, I don't care. I don't find him to be charismatic. I don't find him to be interesting. He was a piece of shit for something that he did with when he was teaming up with Corey Graves to tag team one of my friends. And yeah, that may seem like it's a little petty or whatever, but he's obviously got thin skin and everything. Corey's got thinner skin, though. His skin is thin as rice paper. And he wants to try to make good or whatever after he, unleashed everybody on him, on a friend of mine and on others because he's a sensitive little bitch that can't admit that he's not very good on commentary. But anyway, Corbin ruining this stuff. I know that it seems like this is a bit of a ranty thing, but I've been mad about some things for the past couple weeks, and I'm unleashing them on this review. This actually wasn't a bad show. It was actually a pretty good show overall. But anytime Corbin got in, I was done. I was just done. I didn't care. Orton got an RKO to Ciampa. And then he hit one on Priest, and Priest was eliminated. Priest barely got to do anything. He got to do a couple things. And then Braun runs over everybody. But then gets counted out. Gets counted out after a move. Okay, cool. Well, actually, he runs into Lee, and then, he can't get back in the ring. They didn't have Lee do all that much, which is probably why they were saving him here for the end. Corbin pins Ricochet. So right there, anybody you have Corbin work with, do they get any better? People are like, oh, Gable. Gable's in a stupid-ass gimmick, and I hate to say it, but Corbin does not get anyone over. He gets them under. Think about his Constable Corbin stuff last year and him being the GM. How well that worked out. It was some of the worst TV ever, whether it was his fault or creative's fault. And this whole thing at King of the Ring, bringing the King of the Ring stuff back was a mistake. So anyway, we get Rollins, Ali, and Ciampa in. Cool, okay, we get some good stuff, and then we get a dive, and Corbin gets hit inadvertently and gets upset at Ali, and then Ali gets curb stomped because, of course, a Muslim must be curb stomped to make Fox happy. So Rollins, pins Ali for 3, and then Reigns spears Drew for 3 because Drew forever cannot beat Roman Reigns. Shane McMahon can, but Drew can't. We then get Reigns spearing Corbin. Thank God. Finally, Corbin is doing something useful, taking the fall, laying down, getting the fuck out of the ring because he doesn't belong there. Ciampa pins him. Hooray! We get Corbin out of there. It isn't even like, oh, I want to see him get beat. I just don't care when he gets beat. It's a thank God he's the fuck off my screen. Not like, oh, wow, Ciampa got a real big benefit from beating Corbin. No, I just don't give a shit. But anyway, the crowd starts booing Reigns and Rollins because, of course, they do, because we have 2/3 of the Shield, because you have somebody with some Moxie or Moxley over in AEW tearing it up, or will try and do. Rollins and Reigns do the best they can, especially Reigns, especially considering all the shit he's been through, the leukemia and all that. His leukemia wasn't a work. Any of you fuckers that still believe that, Meltzer, you guys are fucking idiots. But they tease the Shield bomb. Oh, and hoorah, that didn't happen. So we then get a stomp, and Ciampa's eliminated later. Hooray! Down to Lee, Rollins, and Reigns. And after some exchanges, a jackhammer, and Lee pins Rollins. Okay. I was a bit shocked by that, but good. Rollins can be humbled, and maybe, be in the ring with somebody way better than him, because Seth Rollins isn't cool. He's not a bad guy. He's an idiot on Twitter for losing to Will Ospreay. But anyway, we get to this one point where it looked like it was a 3 after a couple Superman punches, but no, maybe Lee forgot to kick out or something. I don't know. But it was a botched 3 count, and AEW's done them too. A lot of companies have done them this year, and it's kind of annoying. But Spirit Bomb for 2, and then suddenly, after a missed moonsault, Spear 1, 2, 3. So Reigns wins, lol. Am I going to knock Reigns? No. It is 3, 2, 1 NXT. And no, I don't mean like, a countdown. And show respect at the end. Okay. I am of the opinion that if they keep this momentum going, they actually use this loss to motivate Lee and push him, then fine. If they just do it to where they're not going to do anything with it and capitalize on it on NXT TV and into the next takeover, then they have some issues. So maybe they'll do something good with it. I was a bit critical of it, and for the love of God, don't have Reigns beat The Fiend at Mania. It's exactly what's going to happen, but I don't want to see it. We then have Ray coming out dressed as one of the Jokers, because we're all clowns. And speaking of clowns, here's Brock and here's Heyman. I like that they showed recaps of Brock beating up Dominic. That was funny. That was objectively funny. It's a no-holds-barred, no DQ WWE title match. This match sucked. I'm sorry. It sucked. I know that there are people that liked it, but it was stupid. There was a table spot where Ray got launched through like, like the cover part of the table, like laying down. And he got German suplex under the pipe, which looked pretty goddamn brutal. We get more Germans, and then suddenly Dominic runs down. It's like he's going to throw in the towel, but he doesn't. Ray gets a low blow. Dominic gets a low blow. Double 619, a splash by Dominic. And then Ray hits a splash, and they both cover him 1, 2. And I was like, I don't want Brock to be champion, but don't you dare have it happen like this. Okay, cool. Then German suplex to Dominic, which looked like he landed on his goddamn head. So hopefully Dominic is actually okay and that he learns to cut a promo. I'm sorry, I had to get that in. F5 to Ray 3 count. Cool. Okay, whatever. I don't know who the fuck's going to beat Brock. Who are they going to have that's going to beat Brock that people are going to believe in? I really want to know in the comments. Please let me know who you think Brock is going to lose to on the Raw brand. And then we get to Bayley, Becky, and Shayna. Brand Supremacy 3-way. SmackDown, Raw, NXT. We've got the women in the main event. Fans are cheering for the fact that the women need to be in the main event. The women need to be featured. They need to be more prominently featured. We need to see the women get a chance. Give the women a chance. The women have earned it. The women are working really hard. And what the fuck does some of this crowd do? They start chanting CM Punk and boring. Look, if you didn't like the match, if you thought the match was slow paced, you're going to get it in a Shayna Baszler match. You're going to. I mean, I'm not knocking Shayna, but Shayna is a slow paced wrestler. She's very methodical or methodactyl, as as Durbin I would say. It was well wrestled. It was good stuff. Was everything perfect? No. Was this as great as the women's War Games match? No. Was this as great as Candice and Io at Takeover Toronto 2? No. But this was a pretty good match. It wasn't great. I admit that readily, but I'm glad the women got a chance to main event. The crowd hated this match. There was a cool table spot where some cool table spots and stuff like that, and Becky got tossed over the table, and then suddenly, after Bayley missed the elbow, Terufuda clutch, and they got tapped, and Bayley tapped out. So Shayna wins. Cool. And, Bayley took the pin, or the fall. I don't remember who won the predictions. I think I might have won by one, because myself and Durbinair did predictions for War Games and Survivor Series. I know we were tied after War Games. Fuck it. I'll just call it a tie. I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. I mean, I like doing the prediction, but nothing's on the line. So, we then get Shayna staying over Becky afterwards, and then we get this happening where the women are actually getting to have a brawl afterwards, and Becky puts Shayna on the German announcer's table and does a leg drop, and the table collapses, and Becky stands tall, even though she didn't win the match. She didn't take the fall, so it was what it was. We did not have Ronda come out, which was a bit surprising, but then again, after that finger incident that she had, because she tried to cut off her hair and wash Shasha's feet with it, I will never, ever let that go. That was the end of that. In closing, though, with the fans were chanting CM Punk or boring, especially the CM Punk fan. Now, if you didn't like the match, cool, but you didn't seem to chant boring at anything else, and you chanted boring at the women. Well, way to slap the women in the face. I'd say screw you guys, but I don't think any of you have been screwed in a while for that amount of disrespect you showed the women. But anyway, B, solid B. I gave War Games an A. I enjoyed quite a bit of this stuff. The highs were good. This was better than what... Let's see, I'm trying to take the totality of this whole damn thing in there because there were actually some really, really good spots in there. But I'm gonna still say B. Because there were some pretty good matches on this. There were a couple potential match of the year candidates, Dunn and Cole, and then Strong, Nakamura, and Styles. There were some good moments in both elimination matches, but a lot of them were sloppy. And Graves' commentary made me want to stab a freaking ice pick into my ear, but that sounds painful. And Lawler, get Lawler and Graves off of commentary and replace him with somebody else. Go back to the two-man booth. Anyway, B, pull above my head. Please let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.